What is Gucci? Manucci's. Welcome to the Half Court Podcast. You already know what it is. Darwin. I got AV behind the camera. Chino in his bitch. You know what I'm saying? And we got Leo. What's up, brother?
What's up, man?
Man, it's been a cool ass minute, man. Welcome to the podcast.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me. Been pretty good, man. How about yourself?
I've been doing good, man.
Yeah.
So, you know, last time we kicked it, bro, was at Gold's Gym.
Mm-hmm.
That shit was crazy, huh?
Was when I was in high school.
Yeah,
like 6
bro.
years ago.
Hell yeah. So, kind of introduce yourself, brother, and like, what do you do and shit?
All right, so my name's Leo. I was born in Texas, basically raised in OKC. I kind of like to think that I've been a hustler since I can remember.
Okay.
One of my earliest memories was in first grade. I sold a $2 bill for $5. So I just kind of, you know, that was the point where I was like, you know, like I'm on to something. Yeah.
I'm about this shit.
Yeah.
So how did you convince the person to say, hey, look, this is a $2 fucking bill?
Man, it was like, all right. So it was first grade, right? I had a $2 bill that my sister gave me. She worked at a bank. So I got the $2 bill and I told my homie, I was like, hey, you know, trying to see this $2 bill. You know, I was flexing it and stuff. And he was like, man, those don't even exist, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, man, I'll sell it to you, you know. Like, it's rare. He's like, how much? I was like, how much you got? And it was like the time where they would sell like popcorn and like little fruit roll-ups in elementary. And so he's like, oh, I got $5 for the little snacks. So sold it to him for $5.
That is crazy. So that kind of sparked your fucking like hustle,
I just
mentality and shit.
Realized it at that point.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So what do you do, man? What do you do to kind of get your bread? You know what I'm saying?
So for like the past 4 years, I've been kind of reselling shoes and clothes. It kind of just changed it with the season, like if clothes are in or shoes are in or basically anything I can get my hands on, really.
Okay. So yeah,
that's the reason why. Research on that shit. Like, how do you just follow like trends or like you see people's Instagram? Do you look at rap? Like, how do you know what's popping and shit?
Yeah. So right now, like, it's kind of easy. Like, you see Travis Scott's like one of the hottest artists right now. So like anything that has Travis Scott on it is gonna resell.
I think that's what it is too. It's like kind of looking at the artists and seeing like what artist is popping and what they're wearing and using, because that's the trends. The ones that create the trends are the artists, to be honest. Yeah.
Basically. Yeah. So
that's a smart move.
So I mean, he has a Reese's cereal that, you know, has his face on it and it's selling for like $100. You know, so
I don't know what it is. Is it because like he has some retros, a couple of retro shoes and shit, and they're expensive.
Yeah,
they're like $4,000.
Yeah,
like some fucking Jordans.
How do you become Travis Scott?
At that point, yeah.
Oh,
How the fuck you become Travis Scott? So yeah, this explains, you know, the shoes here. You know, these are one of the, you know, got some Kobe's over there. That, by the way, you know, we got the jersey. I said we were repping it for a cool minute, man. You're into sports?
Yeah. I'm not too into basketball. It's because I suck at it, you know, but I love watching basketball. I love watching football, but I'm like
you keep up player. With the sport, the sport of NBA.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Were you a Kobe fan?
Yeah.
How did it like impact you, like his passing away?
Man, so I was in church. I don't really. I've been trying to go start going to church again, but this was one of the first times I go back, and you know, I was having a good day, felt good, and I get out and I start checking my phone, and next thing you know, it's just bunch of news articles, all my homies like Kobe's dead,
It's
helicopter
crazy.
Crash, and
it's crazy because the first picture I saw was AV's snap. He was like, rest in peace legend and this and that. And since AV doesn't follow the sports because he's a player, you know, let's keep in mind that he's a player. I was like, this guy is probably joking on some April's Fool shit, you know. I couldn't believe it.
Never do that. No,
yeah, and I was like, when I got the news, it was like, and I wasn't a Kobe fan. That's the thing that's like crazy to me. And I say it. I wasn't a Kobe fan. I was more of a. When it was in his prime, I hated Kobe because of his
he was so
fucking
good.
Instant killer. Like he was a killer. This nigga was.
You are a hater, huh?
He was gonna fuck up my team. I already knew that. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, hell nah. Like,
who's
come
your
on,
team?
man. Well, back in the day it was LeBron. So I followed LeBron, and you know when LeBron was in the Cavs, Kobe used to school him all the time. Yeah. So I was like, man, give him fucking lessons, like post him up, fadeaway shot. LeBron wasn't there for him, you know. So I was like, fuck. goddamn Kobe, shit. But I always admire his game. I was not like talking shit as far as like, you know, like, oh, he ain't shit. He ain't doing shit.
I get what you mean.
He was a killer. He was a killer. You give him, the game is tied, 5 seconds. He's gonna make the shot, man. That's what I love about him. That's what he taught me, is like work ethic. And if you want to be the best at something, go for it. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Put the work in and just go for it. So I'm gonna do a short film on Kobe and the way he impacted me. So stay on the lookout for that.
Hell yeah.
But it's crazy, man. It's crazy the impact.
What year did you start with doing that? Like right after high school, or
I was gonna get to that. Damn. Anyways, rest in peace, Kobe. Rest in peace, Gigi. Shit, crazy.
Shit is crazy.
Let's get back on the shoes. So yeah, how do you start, and then how the hell you get the money to just kind of buy the shoes and flip them?
All right, so first of all, you know, I grew up right here, Southside, OKC. Grew up, you know, not as fortunate as the others. So like all through elementary, like I didn't have like no nice kicks or nothing. You know, I had like Shaqs and like, you know, like the fake Air Forces and stuff. And
did you have Shaqs? Yeah. AV? I think everybody has Shaqs. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
When I was in 6th grade, bro. When I was in 6th grade, and that's crazy because when I was in 6th grade, the only shoes I had for graduation was some Shaqs. I couldn't afford any nice. Yeah. Everybody had like nice dress shoes, and I had Shaqs. I didn't give a fuck. I couldn't afford it. You know what I'm saying? Like I was a kid. You know, so I was like, it's crazy. Thank you, Shaq, for that shit. You know, it's really. He helped a lot of you know, of us, the poor people. You know what I'm saying? So
cool, yeah.
And he's like, I can't relate.
I grew up poor, so.
So yeah, you know, growing up poor, basically, you know, I would always see people in elementary. Everyone had a Cortez. You know, that's what was cool. Like everyone had a Cortez and Dickies. You know, and I didn't even have Dickies. You know. No Dickies, no Cortez, so just some plain khakis and Shaqs.
Little white man.
Yeah. So it was kind of like the same through middle school, but like middle school, I started working for my stuff, like trying to buy video games, like Xboxes to play with the homies, you know. So I didn't really get into shoes till like maybe 8th, 9th grade, you know, and that's when I was working, so I got myself some white Air Forces, you know, because that's when that was popping. Yeah, so I got me some.
Were they the high or the lows?
The lows.
The lows, okay.
The lows. So got me some of those, and then like 8th grade, freshman year, my sister went to the military, and she was like the last one in the house, so it was just like me and her, and then she left, did her basic training, whatever, graduated, and she was in town like for Christmas, so. When she was in town, we went to Academy, and I seen those KDs up there, the black ones in the front. And they were like $130, $140, you know, and I was like, dang, like, you know, I was still barely starting to get into like basketball because I was like going to games. And so I was just, I mean, KD was like our hero, or like OKC.
That's
hero.
when OKC was popping.
Yeah. So I was like, man, like those KDs are fresh, like $150, you know, that's like double what these Air Forces are, blah, blah, blah. So my sister leaves, you know, she goes back to the military or whatever, wherever she was at. I think she was in South Carolina. So she went back, and for my birthday, she ended up shipping me those shoes. And I was just kind of like, you know, that's what kind of got my sneaker game rolling.
Yeah.
And, you know, wore them to school and all that. And someone offered me like $180 for them. And then I was considering it, you know. I was like, man, you know, my sister paid $150, I can buy them again. So I went and checked the store, see if they had them, and they didn't have them no more. So I was like, nah, like my sister gave me these shoes, I can't sell them. But
so those are still the ones that your sister gave you?
Yeah, those are the ones my sister gave me.
That's
like the start of my sneaker collection.
Oh, hell yeah.
Right there. So, you know, I wear them like to Thunder games when I go to Thunder games with her or whatever. But that kind of started it, and I started, you know, saving up some money and then buying shoes that like KDs. I started with KDs.
Yeah.
I started with some Ant Pearls and bought those and resold them, and then just kind of got the ball rolling from there.
Yeah. So what was the process like? How could, like, because this is right now your source of income, right?
Yeah.
So you started in high school, right? How the hell you get the money?
Well, at first, I would use my sister's credit cards. I would just tell them like, hey, I don't have a credit card. Like, here's some money. This is what I'm going to spend. Here's the money. They're like, all right. So I started like that, and that's how I was like kind of hustling in middle school. I was buying stuff on eBay from their credit cards, and I was like selling shit like.
So and you were building their credit.
Yeah. So I was like buying dice and shit. Like I would buy dice in bulk and just sell it at school. Like here's 2 pairs of dice for $1. And I'd buy them like 100 for $10.
Yeah.
So you were the kid that always had the cool shit. Like you.
Yeah. Like little strings like that. You made keychains with. Yeah, I remember them little.
Yeah.
Strings,
I remember those.
Like that shit too. Just basically like a lot of dumb shit.
That was
That's
popping.
That
was popping.
Yeah.
Because I remember that shit. That was a trend. Like that was like everybody had
So,
one, and they were fucking. They would get entertained making them shits.
So I would use their credit cards and shit, and then same shit with shoes, and then they just signed a card. They started getting more expensive, so they were like, nah, like I'd be telling them like, hey, let me spend this much, and then when I sell them, I'll give you the money. They were like, it's like $200. Like, what if you like, what if you don't get it? What if you don't sell it? So.
Now that Leo says that he sold something when he was little, did you ever have something you sold when you was little? Maybe like you flipped it or some shit?
I mean, when I was in middle school, like suckers, I would get those Mexican suckers and just sell them bitches.
What about you, Chino?
Honestly, me and my friend Red, I don't want to say his name, but his name's Red. We would go to Family Dollar and Dollar General and steal candy. Like we were poor. Remember, we were poor.
Yeah.
And we would go to school and sell them for like $1 or $2.
Damn. Everybody had a little, like it's crazy because like I thought about it. You remember when the marbles came out? And there was the game you would play and shit. So I had a shit ton of those because I would beat people playing that game, and then I had all these. There were like all kinds of collections. Like these were rare. These was like fucking. They had all kinds of collections. So I had a lunch bag full of them because I was that good at that game. So one day I went and just started flipping. I'm like, hey, these are these rare ones, and people would give me their lunch money for it, and I made it good. Like. Back then, I made at least this was in like 5th grade. I made $20 off of it, which back in the day was $20 was like I was balling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I could buy everybody.
Get a slushy, get some hot Cheetos and cheese.
So that was big for me, and it's like now that I think about it, I was like, damn, bro, like that's crazy. Like I always knew I had like a little bit of sales,
a little hustler,
and hustle in me. So.
My bad. I have a question.
Yeah.
Like nowadays, how are you doing it? Because back then it was like. You were taking the risk. Like, what did you learn throughout the years of flipping and taking losses and shit like that?
Kind of,
Okay, so
leveling up.
So when my sisters they stopped like letting me borrow their cards, I would ask my mom, and my mom she never used her credit card, so she was like, "All right, just use it. When the bill comes, pay it off." So that's when I kind of started buying more stuff because she had like a bigger credit line.
She gave you more freedom.
Yeah. So as long as she didn't see it and I got the money, then. It was a wrap.
So pretty much your thing was buy the big purchase and then make sure you put it back before even the statement comes out.
Yeah. So that's what I was doing with that. And then eventually I turned 18, got my own credit card and just started doing it on my own. But like when I've taken losses, usually like I can tell like when the statement comes in and the money's not rolling in, I'm just like, oh shit. Like, I owe whatever, however much, and I have this, like, this ain't gonna cut it. So I'm like, well, F it, like, let's spend double and just have this stuff come in, like, a bunch of stuff that it's not, like, too much of a money maker, but it's, like, it's enough to.
But I'm pretty sure, like, those purchases,
something.
those risks you take, you're like, okay, I'm pretty sure I can flip these.
Yeah.
Shit.
It's I kind of fall back on the old stuff that I was doing before or something, like something that might be going out of fashion or something, but some people are late on that stuff, so they still want it,
Yeah.
So I would just basically like be like double or nothing, like spend more and then we'll make more. That's how I saw it.
Yeah, you say you're pretty much a risk taker, huh?
Yeah,
Fuck yeah, I'm gonna.
So at those times when you like the fucking statements coming in and you don't got the bread, what do you start like just hitting the streets more or fucking what?
A little bit of everything. Like, I hit the streets more. I sell like my personal stuff, that I'm just like, yeah, I'm never going to sell it. Like, I end up just like, well, do I want to pay like some interest or am I just going to sell this that I don't need, but I can make some money, So yeah, kind of just getting rid of my personal stuff that I do like little, like, what do you call it? Liquidations. So get rid of my stuff and that's usually enough to like, you know, get me for that month or something. So far it's been working.
When it comes to like the social media, do you use the platform? Because I don't know if you know of Benjamin Kicks, you know, and like how crazy he got popular, and he's now selling kicks to DJ Khaled, P. Diddy, and Meek Mills and all that people.
Names,
So how do you use social media to promote your stuff? Like, how do people know you're the guy that's like the plug?
So I mainly use Instagram and Snapchat. So like, I kind of when I get.
Do you use like your own personal Instagram, or do you have your separate?
Right now, I just have my personal one, because usually like the stuff that I sell is kind of stuff that I don't really want to sell to my friends, because I want to get more money off of it, you know, because my friends have like a different style than I do, like
right,
or the different style than what I purchase to resell. Yeah. So like, honestly, like I target, you know, richer people, like, you know, people that their parents are lawyers, doctors, and all that. So, you know, they don't mind spending an extra $100 on a pair of shoes. Like, yeah. Because I mean, I want to make my margins like crazy high, but I don't want to, you know, lose money and wax my homies. Yeah. So
exactly.
But I do use Instagram and Snapchat, my personal ones, for most of the stuff.
Hell yeah, man.
So is that a lot of word of mouth too? Because I mean, shit, this
is definitely a lot of word of mouth. Definitely, like
because that's what kind of keeps it exclusive, huh?
Yeah. So like, you know, at first I just did it like for fun. Like, I would buy shoes that I wanted, that were expensive, and I'd buy them. You know, I'd look at them, put them on, whatever, and I was like, all right, you know, let's just sell them before like I ruin them. You know, it's like $200 pairs of shoes. Like, I was buying one like every week. So I was like, you know, I can't afford this. Like, let's just look at it, you know, appreciate it, and then get rid of it. And that's kind of how I am still. Like, I buy a lot of stuff, mainly my size, and then just look at it, appreciate it, and let it go.
I have a homie that does a little bit of that on the side. And what he'll do is he'll use it for a day, or if he has a special event, he'll go and purchase a popular shoe, use it, and then resells it after he uses it. I myself, like, I like to collect them more than I like to sell them. Yeah. Once I get to the point where I'm making more money, where I can just buy 3-4 pairs, and like I think Fat Joe does that. Somebody that has
rock one, stock one.
Yeah. So he is it Fat Joe? I think it's Fat Joe. So I think Fat Joe buys 2 pairs of every like collection he buys. He buys 2, or DJ Khaled, one of those 2. And he uses one and he collects one. So he has one like a whole fucking collection, brand new, that he doesn't touch.
You rock one, so that's stock like, one.
Yeah, so that's like that'd probably be me, because I like to collect them. Yeah, like on the resale. So have you ever thought about, do you touch eBay, Amazon to kind of resell? Because I feel like you'd make a fucking shit ton of money.
I haven't actually. Like, I've bought a lot of stuff from Amazon. No, not Amazon. eBay. I bought a lot of stuff from eBay, but right now it's like the places to do it's like Go or StockX. So like they're sneaker apps. I don't know if you're familiar with them.
Yeah. I use them.
Go and StockX. One day I was just, when I was kind of getting started, I
haven't checked out Go.
Yeah.
I fuck with StockX.
That's the one I saw first. Like, I saw it on a Facebook ad, and I was like, it was like buy, sell shoes, whatever. And I was like, you know, this seems kind of sketchy. So I clicked on it, you know, did some research on it, found some reviews, and I was like, well, this app's legit. Like, they got cool kicks. Like, their prices are cool, you know. And I started with Goat too. Like, Goat was like one of the first places I started selling shoes, like on the internet. So I use Goat. And
is it an easy process to do? Like,
yeah, it's super easy. Like, you create an account, whatever, post pictures of the shoes, and then put your price. Then they sell. They take their cut and then ship the shoes. I mean, they give you, like, they have you print out the label, take it to wherever, UPS, whatever, mail it. Once they like verify it, yeah. Okay. They take it out of like the cut. So,
okay, that makes sense. So
like they verify it, whatever, and once they verify it, like, you get your payment.
So in my opinion, I think what's good to sell on eBay and Amazon are like not any like retro. Like these right here, I feel like they would be good to sell on Amazon, eBay, like the Reeboks, items, and then the Kobe's, like StockX and KDs and like Jordan retros. I think that would be good. So if you're really looking to take it to the next level, I think you should get into that. I definitely like to get into like flipping shit, just anything, kind of buying shit at garage sales or fucking Dollar Trees and just flipping them on eBay. I just haven't taken the time to sit down and learn how that shit works, like how, because I follow a couple people on YouTube that do the arbitrage. They'll go to fucking Marshalls and buy shoes, scan them. Oh, how much is the demand on it? And they make money. People make a living, 100,000 a year, some shit like that. So, if you're definitely looking to take your shoe game to the next level, that's really gonna.
What shoe's the fucking moneymaker right now?
Well, right now, like the moneymaker for me are still Yeezys. Like Yeezy's been like, the top dog for real past 4 years. And like
shout out to Kanye.
Shout out to Kanye. He's made me a lot of money, but like it's kind of the Yeezy's kind of dying right now.
I noticed that there have been a couple in the shelves. If you go to Foot Locker right now, Champs, you can find some there. So
bro, I look at your fucking Snap. That's a lot of boxes, bro. Yeah, you're moving to fucking.
Yeah, this December I bought 40 pairs, I think, of Yeezys. 40 or 50.
And how much you sold so far?
Probably like 25.
So half of it?
Yeah.
More than half at that point.
Usually by now, like, they would have been gone. So, like, Yeezys are on the kind of, seems like they're on the low.
So, those 25 pairs that you sold, has it been here in the city? Just in the city?
Yeah, it's like.
Oh, shit. Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's mainly people that don't, they're not too, like, sneaker savvy or whatever. They're just like, hey, man, you got some Yeezys? I'm just like, yeah. And they're just like, oh, what colors? Just boom, boom, boom. They like them. I sell it to them.
Yeah.
So not like if they were sneakerheads, they were, they'd know how to get them and they'd be, they'd get them on their own.
Do you meet with them at like a public place? Because, there's always those sketchy people that fucking try to hit a lick on you.
Yeah. Like.
Have you ever encountered something like that or been like, this looks sketchy? Like right before you're about to meet up with them and shit?
Honestly, like I've been so fortunate that I haven't. And I've been like reselling shit for like ever. So like even before I could drive, like I was having my mom, take me to like some gas stations at night, meeting up with people on Craigslist, like buying and selling phones. So like I was doing that in middle school before like I could drive, So I mean there could have been definitely a lot of opportunities. I'm a small guy too, so I'm like surprised that it hasn't happened to me. Knock on wood.
On me, knock on it, shit. Cause
keep that motherfucking thing on you.
Yeah. Cause it's like especially thank God there's a Facebook market, which is the better place to sell shit. I'm always skeptical, even on the Facebook market. Meet up with people like public places and shit. But I'm always like on alert because I've seen cases where people just get robbed. They try to meet up with you,
sucks.
Try to hit a lick on you. You know what I'm saying? So
you sell clothing too?
Yeah.
What kind?
So not recently. Like the clothes I started out with was like Supreme, like streetwear, Supreme, Bape and stuff. Like, excuse me. I started off with that, and Supreme's kind of dying off too.
Is it?
So yeah, Supreme's kind of dying off. Streetwear kind of is.
It's
like,
crazy how expensive that shit is.
It is.
It's a regular T-shirt with just a Supreme, or some Vans would come out that are $40 that has a Supreme, and that shit is how much? Do you know how much?
$200.
Yeah,
like from the store, and then
they're limited too, and
like
they do that shit on purpose.
Yeah,
they have them limited. That fucking fly is getting on my nerves. Yeah. So, anyways, it's crazy how that shit works, cause like, these big names, the regular T-shirt, bro, like it has a Supreme and it's already $200 minimum.
But they only make like a limited amount of them.
On the Vans, I remember they did. My homie was telling me about that. This was like five years ago. They came out with some Vans special edition that had the Supreme. Me and you, it was a small ass logo somewhere like
Can't
on the
even
side.
See it.
Yeah, $200. Come on, son. So yeah, those are dying down.
It's limited, So, I mean, if you really want it, like you can get it, but it's like, just put a little bit of effort, But it's
and I see.
Yeah,
and I see all these big lines at the Supreme store because they have one. I think is it New York or LA?
LA, New York, and they just opened one.
Big ass lines, bro. People just waiting to get some Supreme shit.
So
they make a lot of money.
Is this a different market than like the whole like Gucci shit that you wear?
Oh, this is a
it's
different
whole
market.
different.
Yeah, this is a different market.
It's luxury and streetwear.
Right. There you go.
And streetwear's dying, and luxury's like on the rise.
So that's why Kanye's like trying to get in that shit, huh?
I think so.
He's been into fashion. He's been into fashion for a cool minute. Yeah.
The whole
I like fashion, but not in that kind of weird shit. Like, I don't want to wear an umbrella fucking, you know, like, because they be coming out with the weirdest shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, nah, I'm not about that. But what about the other brand? What's its name? Vape. How's that doing?
It's dying too.
Yeah.
Because back then, like,
those are expensive too, man. Like,
like Wayne would wear it. Kanye would wear it. Like, you know, everyone was rapping.
Is Trump Fit still a thing too?
Nah, not that I know of. Not in like.
Shit. And those are the fucking rappers that put that shit on the map.
Yeah.
Like, the reason why all
of us. Which ones? Who else have them?
The what?
Jay-Z.
Well, yeah, Rockaware.
Yeah, but the reason why these like brands become so popular is because of the rappers. Yeah, because
Young and Reckless, fucking Drama blew that shit up for a little bit. Everybody.
How much are the Louis V t-shirts and fucking Gucci t-shirts?
500 at least starting. Yeah. For the simplest one.
So like, you're gonna spend a rack on a t-shirt, brother?
Yeah.
That's tough. That is tough. So I don't know how people can do it. I don't know. I guess I gotta be up there. I guess I'm broke. I'm just talking.
Yeah.
I guess I gotta be up there to see.
I'm just broken bitter right now.
Yeah, I think I gotta be up there where I can be like, I got a rack to spend. Let me just spend it on a t-shirt, Gucci t-shirt. You know, like, fuck it. You know.
Yeah.
So.
I think that's why a lot of people wear replicas. You know what I mean? Like fake Gucci's.
Yeah.
Fake.
But why? That's like,
at
why?
That point, yeah.
Why? If it's fake, if you can't afford it, why?
Try to be in a lane that you don't belong in.
Exactly.
Trying
so
to
like,
be somewhere you're not.
Trying to fake the sauce.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and this is not to bash out my people, but in Puerto Rico, that's the vibe. That's the vibe over there.
That's Mexico too.
That's like, and the guys at least do it to impress the females. Like, they have these fake Gucci.
But do the females know it's fake?
I don't know.
Not
man.
in countries like that.
No, because they're not as big trendsetters like, you know, guys that really want.
Yeah, because and you can tell. I mean, I can tell because I grew up in that like environment and looking. You know, I was always looking
like a jersey, like, you know, when it's a Academy jersey or when it's like
exactly. So
authentic.
Over there they do that to impress, and like they have all these like fake, or even if it's real, but they're in like a little fucking Corolla, or they're in like they live with their mom, but the females fall for that shit. You know, it's crazy, and I've never.
That's what the females dig.
I always sit in the lane I belong. Like, if I could force some Jordans and fucking Adidas and Reeboks, I'll stay in that lane. But I'm always fresh on the streetwear. But
I think when I have money, I'm gonna come up with my own jogger line.
I think that should be the vibe, man. That should be the
joggers and cargo shorts.
It's funny because my grandpa would always be like, that Louis Vuitton and Gucci, like people buying that Gucci. Do you like to have a man's, like on some Dame Dash shit, do you like to have like Calvin Klein, you like to have a man's name on your fucking waist? Like, my grandpa's.
I like your grandpa.
He's like, Michael Jordan? What am I doing wearing another man's shoe? Like,
that nigga ain't paid my bills.
Yeah. Like, I'm going to give him my money to make him richer? Well, my grandpa, man, he'll give you.
So what kind of shoes does he wear? Like,
bro, no brand, like the no brand boots. He's from the military, so he went to the Vietnam War, so like it's the boots.
He's on some other shit.
Boots. All day, every day boots.
That's it. Like all the Equate stuff. Like if it says sandals, like a brand sandal, he'll just get the Equate sandals.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, awesome
just sandals.
Yeah, he has a point to a certain degree. I just feel like it's. You know.
Do you? My bad. Do you think you'll ever design your own clothing or shoe or anything like that?
That was a dream of mine, actually. Like
was?
Yeah. Well,
not anymore.
I don't know. It's just I just kind of like think about like the feasibility. You know, like how many like clothing lines have been started up and they just like no one fucks with it. Like
It ain't Ralph though.
Well,
it ain't Ralph though.
But like their
luxury, like their
I
brands.
think just like anything, bro. I think it's like you just have to look at it as marketing and how consistent you are. Because, bro, how long ago was Beats invented? How long ago?
Yeah, not too long ago.
Right.
Know?
And
But-
Dr. Dre was able to sell that motherfucker for like $2 billion
Yeah.
with the B. You know what I'm saying?
So what you're saying is that you don't think is that realistic of a goal?
Not in Oklahoma.
I mean,
because it's just like.
But if you really wanted to do it, you could move somewhere where you.
yeah, we
like
have social media. I
LA,
think that
you
shouldn't be
know.
the issue because we have social media and you want to obviously sell your clothing line. Have a website for it. That's what I would
Yeah.
recommend. But I mean, Oklahoma, not to is not the market for a lot of things.
Yeah.
But we have social media.
What are some brands right now that are like not Supreme, not Vape, not fucking that are like
Poppin'.
popping. It's like
There's
like an independent type.
Are we talking about like
Do you guys
streetwear?
know of any? Yeah, streetwear.
There's a brand called Pleasures from LA. Like I kind of barely found out about. Some dudes here from OKC. They have a shop called 1032 Space. Like it's like in Deep Deuce, and they like I walked in there one day and they were telling me about the brands they had. Like they had like Kylie Jenner stuff, like that brand Pleasures, like Comme des Garçons, a fashion like a luxury. I think it's a luxury brand. He was telling me about some of the smaller clothing lines that they have, like that one Pleasures. Like they're mainly in LA. Like they don't have too much of their stuff like in boutiques or whatever like around.
Okay, so like those guys, how do they start their distribution? They're just in the streets.
Pleasures.
Yeah.
No, I think you gotta kind of like contact them or something. Like find a way to contact them. Or like,
No, I'm saying like how did they start doing that? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you know brands? Like how you can make a brand like that pop? Like how do they do it?
Famous people.
And that's where I get
Athletes.
back to I think that's how
athletes.
that's how Beats got popular. That's how I found about Beats in music videos. I was like, I see the brand on the laptop, and then right before the video start, it was genius, and the pill was there. So
They fed that shit to us.
yes. So it's like I think it comes down once again. Marketing. That's why these brands they take a certain amount for their budget to spend, and they'll fucking like Adidas, for example. They're already big, but to get even bigger, they'll like
Still got a market.
they'll sponsor Ninja and all these athletes and shit. So yeah, I feel like it's just about marketing. But I mean, at this point,
Well, shit, man, don't give up on that idea.
me.
Yeah, I believe in you.
I
For real.
appreciate it.
Is this one rolling, bro? 30 minutes? Because it has a 30-minute limit. That's why. All right, we're rolling. Hell yeah. Because I was like, yeah, I haven't seen that one moved in quite a bit. So it has a 30-minute limit. But yeah, I think it's, when it comes to, building a brand like anything, it's like, I eventually want to create my own clothing brand. I think everybody's doing it. Every goddamn YouTuber does it.
Yeah.
But some of them
They make
go
money,
for it and then they don't
Yeah.
keep pushing it. You got to keep pushing it. You never know when it's gonna expand. But I think at that point we're at a time where social media is big and you can just build your fan base. It's like if you have 1,000 loyal people, so imagine selling to 1,000 people $30 shirts.
Yeah.
How much are you gonna make? Like a shit ton of money. Like we're talking about. My math is terrible, but we're talking about up there. Like Chino, you're good at math, right? You're good at math.
Yeah, definitely.
So
1,000 times
30 times 1,000.
30,000, right?
30,000.
There you go. You made it 30,000.
For every shoe you sell, throw a shirt in.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Right. Sell it a little bit higher. Here's a shirt. See? Shit, we already gave you an idea.
It's not something I've like gave up on. It's just something like I just haven't. It's not the right time. Like I just haven't had like something that's different. Like right now is a time where like all the trends are just like they're all over the place. Like there's just
You're kind of learning that shit.
yeah. You got to kind of study it.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I definitely, like I said, I want to come up with it.
And I know fashion is like a tough. Just off of watching interviews and shit, I know like fashion is one of the hardest ones to tap into. Like I mean, it's like right there with music and shit.
But I think just like anything, you just can't let your mind say like, it's too fucking.
Yeah, for sure.
Everything is clustered at this point. Like there's a lot of fucking everything.
Yeah, you gotta do the shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be like, fuck, I'm not gonna be a barber, because there's a shit ton of barbers. Or
like,
fuck,
fashion is one of those that it is like you gotta be
I'm not gonna be a
persistent motherfucker, because like you're gonna get denied a lot.
Right. You just gotta be different, because I mean, it's like with everything, you gotta be different. Cause
if I'm gonna just like, sell a Hanes tee that has a design on it, it's like, okay, yeah, that's cool, but it's like how how much thought did you put into just a Hanes tee with like a picture on it or something?
I think
like,
it's
come on, change the fabric up, like change the style of the shirt up, the fit, like it's all that.
I think it's more brand. I think, for example, when the Padrino, I think when they start getting big and start building their brand, they can sell a T-shirt that says "Puro para adelante." I think that shit would sell, man. I would buy one. I'd definitely cop one. That's like a little slogan type shit.
It's the difference though, like what Leo's saying between.
But that's like
between fashion,
right,
and just merch, yeah.
Right.
Like you can have
fashion is a different game.
Fashion
is more design.
Yeah, like you said,
the
quality of the cloth.
Yeah, definitely. It's more.
For the bougie niggas like Chino.
Yeah.
with this girlfriend pants.
Love the girlfriend pants. Love them, man.
Here in Oklahoma, what stores would you say right now are the ones that are like running the scene as far as all this goes? Streetwear
resale stuff.
Yeah, like just like where what's a good place where if somebody wants to fucking just see some different shit can go and. I know there's a laboratory and then there's
it's the OG Kicklahoma. They've been around, like throw events and stuff like sneaker conventions.
And they now in the mall, huh?
But now they're in the mall, and like they have a store now. They're
locally.
They're in Penn Square,
and then they're even at the outlet now too. So
really?
Yeah,
that's
they
just
up. Opened that up.
I remember, man. They used to hand me flyers all the time. They started with a little ass booth, like little ass fucking kiosk, and now they have a store in Penn Square, and like now I'm finding out they have a one in the outlet mall.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you have a relationship with the laboratory. How's that? Like, what do you do with them?
Well, that's kind of where I started, like, because they were the first ones. I was in college when they opened. Like, I was a freshman, and my friend Ruben kind of introduced me to Supreme. I didn't even know it existed till like 3 years ago, and he was telling me like, yeah, like these people wear it, like you can buy it for this much and resell it. Like, download this app and see what you can get. And I was like, man, that's crazy. Like, but fuck it. Like, I'll try it. And, I seen, like, the margins and stuff. Like, a little documentary came out about it on Netflix. So I was like, all right, this real. So downloaded the app, and I hit on a North Face and Supreme jacket, a little military green jacket. It was like $240. And I took that to the lab and put it for like $600, and like after a week it sold, and I had made $300, and I had told my parents about it. That's when I was using their card. I was like, hey, like, let me buy this jacket, $240. They're like, man, you stupid, like you this, like you crazy ass, hell no, you ain't gonna resell it. And next thing you know, I was like, all right, like I sold it, $500.
So what's the biggest purchase you made where you were like, I'm gonna flip this shit? But you were was it like, were you skeptical on it, or what was like the process of that like?
So it's been progressively just getting like bigger since I've like started. Like it's basically been up from there. So like my spending just has gone crazy. Like for the holidays, last year was basically like, I would say like my first year like reselling during the holidays, and I bought a bunch of Yeezys. It was like 20 pairs of white Yeezys, and they weren't really popping because, they're all white. So, to buy us like some $300 all white shoes, like that you're going to mess up on one wear, it was kind of a little skeptical, but I got them cheap. So I was like, all right, if I can make $20 on 20 pairs, that's enough. So I did that, and like during the holidays, they all sold. So I was like, damn, like I guess I should have bought more. The holidays, like they, people spend, you want to spoil people. Like no matter if you put yourself in debt for a bit, you want to impress that girl, you want to spoil your mom, whatever it is. Like people spend.
So at this point, you don't know what the fuck is a real job.
Yeah, basically.
You never had one?
No, I've had a few, but it's just like
fuck
it's
this
just
shit.
knowing that I don't have to be there. You know, it's just like it's kind of a bad attitude to kind of have working for somebody.
Because then you get hired and you're like, you give me shit, I'm a bounce.
You're like,
know what
man, like I can make, if I put my mind on this shit again, I can make the same amount. Like just kicking it at home. Yeah.
So how do you separate those times? Like how do you separate work time from like, because this shit, there's no hours, there's no, how do you, like if somebody calls you at 12, how do you do that shit?
It's hard, man.
It's hard. Like I would say like, basically what it is like being your own boss, because nobody tells you like, hey, go buy these shoes. Yeah. And just not do shit, but yeah. No, but it's been weird. Like I've met up with some people like,
does it ever
late as fuck, Just
because it's like you're on call all the time. You got to be alert. Somebody's trying to hit you up and want these shoes.
And I'll be like,
I'd be skeptical as hell, man. I'm that person.
You want to make the sale?
Somebody
want to make the sale?
Shit. Somebody hit me up at 12 like, I want to buy these Yeezys from you. I'm like,
mm-hmm.
You got to wait until the morning, son.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Well, when I was younger, it was like, I was just like, man, I need to make the sale. Like, fuck it. Like that. Let's just do it right now before somebody like changes their mind.
Right, exactly.
You sleep on it, change your mind. And I'm just like, nah, like you in the mood to spend, let's get it.
Have you ever gotten to the point where like you said, the statements are out and like, you're like, fuck, I probably have to get a regular job because it's slow.
Yeah. Yeah. So like like I was saying how like the last holidays was kind of my first ones. This one was like, I was more experienced. So I kind of knew like, just buy a bunch of dumb shit and it's going to sell because people are going to be desperate and they're going to be like, damn, Christmas is in 2 days. I didn't get my wife this. I didn't get my girl this.
Right.
Where can I go? Fuck it. I'm like, I fucked up. Let me spend however much I need to. So these last holidays, like, I remember it was like November or October. I was kind of trying to get my inventory up for that reason. And that's when like Travis Scott was dropping a lot of merch. Kanye West was dropping a lot of merch and a lot of shoes were dropping too. So like Travis Scott he would have one drop like on Monday. He'd have another drop Tuesday, another drop Wednesday, one Thursday, and one Friday with a bunch of just dumb shit like posters, DVD, CDs or whatever, like shirts, hoodies, shorts, anything, sweats. And every day that week I spend probably $2,000 on stuff every day. So I was like, first drop $2,000, second $2,000, $3,000, and every day for like those 5 days on each drop. And then the same with Kanye. Kanye dropped like probably either a week before or a week after, but it was kind of the same with him. Like he dropped a few different things and it was just like $2,000, $2 more grand. This was like in a month.
But you knew that shit was gonna go.
Yeah. But the thing with that merchandise, like when they drop albums and stuff and they drop merchandise, it takes a long ass time for shit to get here.
Like, because their demand is stupid. So
yeah, what I think they do is like they drop it for like a couple hours, and then I think they just sell however much they can, and then they make it, so they don't have to like have overstock or whatever, and like because they don't have stores, so they can't like put it on clearance, So I think they just do the sales and then make the stuff because it's taking like weeks, like months to get my
bro stuff. That's crazy. 4 the rapper, there was a month where on all his posts, bro, it was like, where's my shirts, I ordered my shirts 3 months ago, I ordered this I was like, fuck, like people were on his head for a while, bro. That's bad for business. But that fucks up your money, like
that is
so with them, I knew what I was getting myself into, but I was like, man, as long as it gets here by December, I'll just tap into the savings and like, or ask whoever for money until the next month. But I know it's going to come, and yeah, shit took the Kanye stuff. Like there's stuff that came in last week and I ordered like in October. And it's just like,
that's crazy.
Like, step your fucking game up, Kanye. Come on.
At this point, you're like, fuck. Am I gonna get my shit? Like, you're checking every day the tracking number. Where the shit at?
Those goddamn opioids are getting his ass.
God damn.
It's the same. Like Antisocial Social Club, they've been known like to take forever to ship their stuff. They're like another streetwear brand. Yeah. But like they've taken months.
Shit. Like if you order something,
yeah,
I wouldn't order shit from Wish, but people they order shit from Wish and that shit takes months, like 2 months.
It's a long ass time.
That's a long ass fucking time.
Yeah.
Like you got to have the patience, and on top of that, their
shit
is
take
trash.
money too. So you're like, damn, y'all took my money and
their shit is trash.
Product, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, like whoever orders through Wish has got to be broke, because it's cheap shit, and then it takes forever to get there.
It's crazy how they sponsor like the Lakers now.
Yeah, it's crazy because I mean
like,
they're a $1 million company.
Really?
A lot of people buy through Wish.
It's
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This shirt right here has the Wish logo, but
does it?
Yeah. So it's crazy, man. Like, did you ever imagine that flipping was gonna be your thing, man? Like, where you can fucking make a bread,
Hell no.
That's crazy, huh?
What'd you go to college for? Where you went to college? Like you did?
So yeah, let's talk about that, man. Like you're right now going to college, right?
Yeah.
What are you going to college for?
I go for construction science. I go to OU.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So what's the profession that you're going for? Like.
So basically, it's construction management. So it's kind of like it's like you come out being like a project engineer. It's kind of like assisting project managers and stuff. Like.
So what would be your duty once you graduate and get a job?
Most people go like the project manager route. And it's kind of like, estimating and doing schedules and like budgets for jobs and stuff, like bidding jobs. Or like not a lot of people go superintendent route because it's like you're on a job site and you got to be outside like in the cold and the hot, versus project manager, you're in the office,
And that's some shit you like?
No, I like the superintendent route. Like, okay. I want to go superintendent route.
So that's what go under the sun.
Yeah, under the sun in the cold,
Okay,
especially
but that's some shit you like.
Yeah. I've worked construction like since I was probably middle school to high school almost too. So I was doing that in the summers.
How long have you been in college right now?
It's my last year, my fourth year.
Fourth year.
Yeah.
How old are you?
22.
22.
Yeah.
God damn. So what has college like taught you?
Man, honestly, it's taught me like
you go to OU, stuff. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I went to Southeast High School. I went to Oklahoma City Public Schools. So, like, from my experience, they're all trash. Like all OKC PS schools, like public schools, to me they're all trash. Like you don't get a real education, except for like Harding, like Harding Charter Prep or something like that.
Yeah.
But when I got to college, like, I don't know what the fuck I was doing. Like, I didn't know, like, yeah, like I had teachers writing my essays when I was in high school, like just because I was a sweet talker. Like, I'd always sweet talk my English teachers, like, man, like, I don't know how to do the citations. I don't know how to start my intro, body, whatever, conclusion. By the time you knew it, they had written my essays. So when I got to college, that bit me in the ass, so I had to, like,
they're ruthless over there. They don't give a fuck. Yeah. You got to do it yourself. If not.
Yeah, like, you have to cite it. If not, you, like, go to, like, academic integrity, and then you get kicked out, and then you have to pay the school, and then you're expelled from the school, from cheating. You don't even know you're cheating. Like, you just don't know how to cite nothing. But, like, it taught me a lot of, like, how to actually be a student. Because, when I was in high school, I didn't do shit. I didn't do my work at all.
You study now? Like, when you have to?
You take the time to study?
Yeah, because I don't understand shit that they teach. Like, it's hard shit.
So how do you get into that environment of, because when I used to go to school and get homework and I had to study for a test, I was like the last minute guy. I was like fucking, before I go into class, I was that guy. Yeah. So how do you develop that fucking mindset of getting into, like, I got to study, I got to sit down? Do you, like, are you in like a fucking white room?
You break it down in hours or what? Like,
yeah, how do you fucking work with that?
Man, at first, like, my first semester, I didn't study for shit, for any exam. I just go in, like, thinking it was high school, like, whatever. Yeah, I was like, man, I'll bullshit it like I did in high school and I'll get an A. But hell no, like, I got a slap in the face, like, when my first, like, midterm week came and I got my grades back, I was like, man, this shit ain't cutting it. Like, now I see why people actually study. So I started just hitting up people like, hey.
Did you feel like a loser?
Yeah, I did, because, like, I just, I wasn't used to being a student, bro, like, studying and stuff. And I started having to hit up people and, like, hey, like, you want to have a study session, and then, like, say no to kicking it with my homies. So that was, like, a big, like a big
switch.
You know,
like
it was like damn, like my homies are out here. You know,
like you prefer to do that, like kick it with your homie, but you know you got to do this shit. You know.
Yeah. So I was like, man, what the fuck am I in college for if I ain't gonna like actually like put in some work? You know, like I got a lot of scholarships, so someone's paying for it for me to just bullshit. Yeah. So I just kind of like, I'm still bad at procrastinating, but like you know what you gotta do. Like deep down, like let's say you know you got an exam like in a week and you don't know shit on it. Like deep down, you know, like your ass should be there like studying, not doing whatever you're doing, going out or whatever. So
whenever you go out and are you pretty good about just not doing that shit anymore?
No.
So when you got a test, you just study. And
I'm still not good at it.
So you still fuck up and So but when you're in the club, that probably makes it even like not even fun, like because you're
thinking about this fuck, like.
But it's FOMO, you know. You got that fear of missing out. Like you just like fuck it. Like as long as I'm with my homies, even though you're just like fuck, like damn, I gotta wake up tomorrow. I got an exam tomorrow, and just because you can't say no to people, like. And
nothing a little couple of shots will take care of. Shit.
Yeah.
Your hangover, headache, and you got that fucking test. Ooh, boy. That shit hits different.
I've had a few of those days.
Damn.
And I still do, you know, but at this point I'm just like, you know, I feel like I know like I know the material enough to do all right, you know. So like right now they're kind of just teaching us stuff that we've learned like over internships or over previous classes. So it's like, if I don't know this by now, then like, you know. So yeah.
What's your take on the system, like the college system? And if you were the president, what would you change to make college better?
Man, I wouldn't like. Honestly, I kind of think college is kind of dumb. Like if, in some cases, like let's say, like obviously not if you want to be like a doctor or a lawyer.
Exactly. That's
So it's like. You know,
at the end of the day,
if you want to do that, you got to go to college.
Right. We need those too.
Yeah. And we want them to go to college because, you know, we want our doctors and surgeons and dentists to, you know, be smart and know what the fuck they're doing, you know, but it's like some people go like for music and stuff. And it's like, why are you going to a school when they're going to teach you like probably stuff that's outdated about music? And it's like, why don't, like be like.
Did you realize that, AV, when you went to film school? Like what the fuck? Would you say it's necessary?
No, it's not necessary, but it did put me in a different mentality to where like I was in the room with people that have been in Hollywood sets and like, so in that aspect it's cool because you get to see like the producer of The Godfather taught a class there. So this fool, he was a producer for The Godfather, bro. That's a legendary movie. Yeah. So he's in there telling you stories like I came on set and this happened. You know, it's like an old nigga just telling you stories, but it's cool because I mean, if you can do it, I wouldn't. Would you say it depends on? I wouldn't put myself in a like bad financial situation to go. You know, if you can.
So would you depend?
That's why I left because I was spending all that money on tuition. And I didn't have no equipment, so I was like, that money that I'm putting into tuition, I can put it into the equipment and then make money instead of just fucking coming to school. And I'm gonna go back, but
would you say it's depending on the situation? Like if you want to be a directive, like a creator, like just do fun shit like this and like right. But if you want to go to Hollywood, maybe direct a movie, do you think you need that as well? Because is that the only way to get into Hollywood if you wanted to do a movie?
I mean, if you got bread,
I think it's not. What you know, it's who you know.
Yeah. At that point, if you want to do movies and shit, Hollywood
like,
shit.
Like for example, Dame Dash, he didn't go to fucking film school, but he already knew everybody, so it was like.
You can learn this shit. Like, you can learn it, like, without reading a book.
Let's say I became friends with one of the professors at the college, you know what I'm saying? Like, that motherfucker would probably teach me more. Because professors get paid, like, I had one professor, and this fool was for audio. And I guess he fucked himself to where he wasn't getting paid that good. Mm-hmm. So he started the class really strong, and then halfway through you could notice that he didn't give a fuck. He wasn't really... He would just show up, and then he told us at the end, he was like, man, I apologize, guys, because I have another job. I took this job because I thought it was going to help me, but I'm getting fucked. Like, I'm only making like $40 every night. And you know what I'm saying? Like, he was getting fucked, bro. So he was just there like, I already signed up for this bullshit.
So on the
there's like a lot of factors. I don't know.
Yeah, I think the cool part about this,
you meet a shitload of people. That's one thing.
Yeah, you don't have to have like a certificate to do shit. Like, you need this license. It's kind of cool. It's like just let your talent talk. Let your fucking.
I just did it for experience, to be honest, just to see how it was gonna.
You know, school's for learning. You know what I mean? So when you want to go to school, you want to go for a career that you want to go to.
Yeah.
Just say, you know, you went for music.
Well,
so you want to perfect that music, you know, career. You know what I mean? So you went to school to learn about stuff about music. You know what I mean?
Like really, almost the whole time I was in film school, I didn't really film a lot. Like it was a lot of like they would make us watch movies, like watch that movie and like break down where they use a wide angle, where they use a close up, why they use the close up. You know, so all that time where you're just in book shit. Like it's all just.
I learned all my shit through YouTube. I think. We're in a fucking awesome era to live.
Broke man.
That's
no, I mean like cutting hair and shit. I mean
that's how you started.
I did that too with the film, but I'm not gonna lie. Film school was. I mean, it was a good experience, bro, because they're breaking down how to fuck. Yeah, you can do it on. It was cool though to be in there and like.
It's more hand to hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like and then you're in there with like a bunch of other dudes that like want to do that too.
Right.
So
and you learn from each.
Yeah, bro, you know what I'm saying? This dude has a Canon, this dude has a Sony, this dude has a... So everybody's just like, it's like a big... And in film, if you really think about it, you need a fucking crew. So, like, my idea is when I want to shoot my film, I'm going to go back to school and recruit a bunch of motherfuckers. Like, like you're passionate, I already got everything, bro. So, just come on.
I feel you on that. So, yeah, I think it's awesome that we have YouTube for that shit. But going back to the school thing, you say, you know, like, you were saying we need doctors and shit and you know lawyers and so you think college is dumb to a certain degree, so kind of go from there and see.
So like what I'm studying, I've had 2 internships, like summer internships, got them through school, and what I've learned like in those internships, I've learned probably more in one of them than I have like in college, you know. So like just the 3 months in the summer taught me more than probably the 4 years I've been there, you know, just from how fast paced it was, like how much they made me do like everything, you know, and they just were like, hey, do this, like do this estimate for me. And I'm just like, what the fuck, you know, just, I had to do it. But they were like, you know, if you have any questions, ask me. So I'd be in there getting up like 30 times a day, like, hey, like, what I put for this like line, or like, or who do I call for this, or like, what are your profit margins? Like, you know, it was a question after question, but you know, the people, I was fortunate that the people that I was working with, they were good teachers, and they were like, okay, like, you know, you're here to learn, like this internship is for you to learn. So, I mean, it's like, why don't, you know, companies just like offer people internships that aren't in school, you know, instead of like, because it's like like they've offered internships to people I know who were freshmen, like they weren't even like 2 weeks in the program. Like my friend Chewy, he switched over majors to construction science in the fall, and like I had already been in for 3 years, so I was like, hey, do this so you can put this on your resume for the career fair, because it's like it's probably like a month into school. So he was like a month barely in construction, went to the career fair, we got his resume looking nice, like we kind of did like some little mock interviews, or I just kind of told him like what they're gonna ask him, like, and what to tell them, basically, like to, like for them to be like, okay, like I like you, you know. So we did that, and he got offered a couple internships, like with a month being in the major. And it's like, what can you learn in that month? Like that they already offering you an internship. Like you can find somebody that's not in college and just teach them the same shit.
And for that, it's not required, huh? Like have a degree, like
to be a project manager, superintendent. Like most of the people that I've worked with, like the older generation, like they don't have degrees in construction or whatever.
So you're getting into debt for no reason.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
But like the main reason I still go is because like of the scholarships. Like at this point, it's kind of like they're giving me money to go. So it's like, why would I not take advantage of that and be able to say I got a degree from OU, you know? Yeah,
and you learn.
That's the thing.
And you get to meet people, and it's the experience.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing. That's a big thing why people pay for college is the experience, bro.
Thing,
yeah.
That's like going to a bar. You're paying $10 for a shot. It's not for the shot. You're paying for the
experience.
Be able to say, I fucking bought a $10.
Went to Pinks.
Buy shot. Pinks and buy shots for everybody. And they're $10.
But so, are you in the student loans and debt and shit? Or?
No.
Okay.
No. So like with stuff like that, it's just people go for like some crazy majors. Like, I don't want to bash anybody for studying whatever they're studying, but it's like we get told, we always get told like by people in the industry, like, oh, it's good that you guys aren't like doing a underwater basket weaving degree, like a degree in underwater basket weaving or something like that. And it's like, we can actually use our degree and like go work for a construction company.
Yeah.
But it's like, let's say you get a music degree, like in whatever, like jazz. It's like, what are you gonna do with that?
The only cool thing about that is the people that you meet. You know what I'm saying? Because if you take advantage of it. Yeah, if you take advantage of it. Because if you're just sitting at the house fucking looking at YouTube videos on jazz, it's not gonna be the same as if you're around old niggas that like, you know what I'm saying? If you really.
But then some people
will go to class, and that's how they do. They go to class, and then they just go home. So it's like they just do the work, and then they just, they're not like social people. So it's like, why are you, why are you there? You can do all the book work as like, you can go buy that book, like without being in the class and just read it yourself, at your own time. But like with construction, like you got to be social.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you, like my friend Chewy, the fact that he's social and can talk to people, he got an internship, with no experience basically. And it's like some people that have been in the major 4 years, their senior year, they can't get jobs. Mm-hmm. They got 4.0s, but they can't talk to people. And it's like,
it's key. That's key.
Yeah. And people at the career fairs, they don't, like for the construction ones, they don't ask your GPA. They
don't really give a fuck about the GPA.
No,
they
just
want to be like, can this do
like,
yeah. Out of like the 20 interviews I've had, they've like 2 of them have asked me my GPA. They're just like, nah, man. I mean, like you seem like you know what you're talking about. Like, you seem confident. Are you willing to learn? And if you meet those requirements, then let's go. Just be cool with people and like.
At what point did you realize that you were like you were in college and you were like, damn, I don't really need this, like. Because I'm pretty sure when you were in high school, that there was a point where you were like, I gotta go to college.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Be successful.
Yeah.
That's the only way to be successful.
Like, at what point did you see that you were like, damn, I got fucking. Not finesse because you're not, you're on scholarships, but.
After my first internship, it was, I think, my second year of college. That summer, what's it called? That's when they were like, teaching me a bunch of shit, making me do a bunch of stuff that I hadn't done in my classes before. And I was like, dang, like, they're like, have you done an estimate? I'm like, no. They're like, tell them like, oh, I'm taking it next semester. I'm taking the class next semester. They're like, okay, well, we'll teach you right now. So like when you're in class, like you already know what you're doing. So at that point I was like, damn, I still got to take estimating. Like I already know, like they taught me how to make a whole estimate. They taught me how to read construction documents. Like they taught me how to fill out forms, like when you're doing a bid and like all the like legal stuff to it too. And at that point I was like, damn, like I still got to go and take physics and take structural engineering classes, like take like a music class. I'm like, for what? Like I can literally like just keep going where I'm going and keep learning what I'm learning and not have to finish school, Mm-hmm. But it's just like, it's just like at that point, I want my degree already. Like,
yeah. You're what, 1 year away?
I graduate in May.
This May?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, bro.
We gotta be at the graduation, man.
Yeah.
You gotta pull up.
Oh, me. Next thing you know, we having you part 2 with the fucking diploma.
For
the
real?
fucking, yeah.
Oh, shit. Smoking a blunt. Nah.
Yeah. Celebrating that shit, man.
Yeah.
So if you were the president and you had to make any changes to make college better, what would it be?
Well, at OU, I would like. The thing is, we've gone through like 3 presidents since I've been there. So the one we had before, David Boren, you know, he was like, it seemed like he was more about like inclusivity and, you know, like, how would you call it? Diversity. So, you know, they had like programs for like Hispanics or like low income students and like, not just Hispanics, but like, you know, minorities.
Mm-hmm.
They had more stuff for us. Like, you know, they let us do big events and like, have like our own mentors, kind of like our own, what do you call them? Not mentors.
Tutors?
Not tutor. It's tutors as well. I'll think of the word later, but basically like mentors.
Yeah.
So
I know a lot of people, man, that are in debt. That's like what I'm saying. Like, what would you do to kind of
for that stuff
to fix that shit, man? Like,
I would either.
You think college should be free?
No, I don't think it should be free either. Nah, cause it's like, I don't know. I just, if they should just not require so much stuff to have majors. Like construction, I don't think it should be like you shouldn't need a major for it. Like what I'm doing, but it's like, you know, people are getting in debt for that when they don't have to. You know, if their dad knows it, their dad can teach them, and they could work for their dad.
Yeah, because one of the highest debts. Yeah, no, one of the highest debts, it was student loans and credit cards. Those like America's fucking favorite debt. You know, a lot of people are in debt because it's college or credit cards.
But if I was the president, like, I mean, thing with like OU, they have a bunch of stuff like they have to maintain. Like, you know, they like having pretty grass. They like having flowers all the time, and like they're like making OU look cute. You know, and it goes to us, like it goes into our fees.
They take out of your pocket.
Yeah, like our fees at OU are higher than our tuition. So it's like, you know, every semester crazy. It's like my tuition's like $3,000, fees is like $4,000. And it's like, what the fuck, you know? And it's like because they fucking import squirrels and shit like that. You know,
that's hilarious. Yeah, the grass over there is nice. I'm gonna tell you that.
They import squirrels that you can walk up to and like they'll steal your Chick-fil-A fries. Like they'll literally sit there eating Chick-fil-A fries with you. You know.
Question. Are you sending your when you have kids? Are you sending them to college or like are you paying out of from your pocket?
I'm gonna let them pick, and I'm gonna make them get scholarships, cause like there's just so much money that's wasted from people not filling out scholarships. Like there's scholarships that haven't, like they just go to waste, you know, cause no one applies, and it's like you better find yourself a freaking scholarship that you can like apply for.
If he doesn't want to go to school, to college and shit,
don't do it.
So that's how you did it? You just found a scholarship you could apply for and then fucking went ham on them?
Yeah, like at first I was lucky because I have FAFSA and Oklahoma's Promise, so that basically guaranteed like 90% was gonna be paid, and I was like, man, you know, if they're paying most of this shit, like I can scrap up the rest of the money and go, you know. And then I started finding those scholarships where I was like, all right, like I could, like this relates to me, boom, 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 type up their little paragraphs, and you know, a lot, like I've won probably like 75% of the ones I've applied for, and it's like, you know, those are some good odds.
Free money. You've been lucky.
Are you sending Aiden to college?
If he wants.
Yeah.
I think now we're in a generation. No, I'm not. I mean, it depends. It's like
if he wants to go and you got to pay out of it from your pocket.
If it's worth it.
Well, I think it just depends on how good my kid is. So let's say if he's into sports and he's really into like say basketball, just to give you an example, he's really dedicated to it, he's practicing, then I'm gonna do what I got to do to, you know, make sure he keeps going to college and keep him motivated and shit. But if he's just not doing, like, he wants to go to college, but he ain't doing shit, then you got to get a job. You got to work for your own shit. I think it just really depends on the scenario.
He's going to college, and he just wants to party in college. Like, it's coming out of my pocket now.
Nah,
he's
exactly.
I think it's
going to determine
2 jobs.
But I think,
Churches and Olive Garden.
Yeah, I think in my opinion, it would be my job to make sure I raise my kid to the point where he's not going to college for that, like, crazy college life partying and shit. Like, it's my job to make sure he's that they like little, just show him, like, I was about to throw in some Spanish shit there, but yeah, kind of like show him discipline Like if you love basketball, then that's what you're gonna do. Like from like little, like this is gonna be your life. You got to sacrifice shit if you're trying to make it big. So that's really what, if my kid's big into basketball, that's what I'm gonna do with him. Kind of like, I feel like for that, especially like for sports, you have to be, as a parent, you have to be in that shit. Like you have to be deep in with your kid. Like, cause I wanted to play, you know, I wanted to go to the big leagues, play NBA and go to college and shit, but I never had that parent support. So it kind of messed me up because I had nobody that can take me to the games. I had nobody that can like be like, you know, get better on this, improve on your weakness. You're good at this, and just train me.
Dwight Howard's dad was like a fucking dick to him. Not dick, but he was like, if you're gonna be a basketball player, you're gonna wake up at 5 a.m. and
I think that's how you gotta do it. And then like when you lose, like suck it up, brother. Go, you know, work on what you can improve. Like
go get better.
Right. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I'm playing against my kid 1v1 and I'm beating the shit out of him. I'm not gonna say good job. Nah, you gotta improve. You gotta beat me. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how competitive I'm gonna get with my kid, so I can teach him. If I fucking shove him and he falls to the ground, get your ass up.
That little nigga's gonna need therapy.
Nah, bro, that's how that either makes you or break you. That's what it is. Because if you like you playing with your kid and shit, and you knock him down and he fucking falls and he starts crying and you're like, oh shit, my bad. Guess what? He's gonna, you know, when he gets hit in life, he's gonna just like look at you and be like, can you fix this shit for me? No, like you gotta learn, you know. So, I think now we live in an era where it's like we're very open minded. We don't have to like be like, oh, you got to go to college, follow the system. Yeah, I think we're in an era where it's like
that's the only thing that I think I regret is like the experience, because that shit does the cool stuff. Like staying in a. See, I had it was like a journalism camp at OU when I was in high school. It was like a 2-week thing, and we lived in the dorms, and so at least I got that. You know, that shit was cool. Like I got to stay in the dorms for like 2 weeks and go to class. Like I was like a student at OU for like the 2 weeks, so that was cool.
I think the hard part, if I send my kid to college and he wants to go for basketball, is like, will he be disciplined enough to like, yeah, you go. You go and party and you know you can have your shit, but after you're done with that, not fall too in love with like the females and because I had my one of my cousin's sons, they did that. He was into boxing and he was like, you know, fucking
he got some pussy and hit some good weed and was like, fuck it.
He gets some little vagina and like he doesn't know how to act, so he said fuck the boxing shit. Boom, you don't need boxing for college, but like just that discipline. He like let the
How did you deal with the party life and girls and all that shit? Were you pretty good?
Man, I've been doing that since I was a freshman in high school. So when I got to college, it was like
it's the same shit.
Oh, I got invited to a house party. Like, y'all call this a fucking house party? Like, man, when I was a freshman, like our freaking prom party, like it was a pool party. Like people were just doing all types of shit, like throwing people in the pools, like
on some
fights.
Fucking Project X.
It was in the hood, you know. It was over here on Shields and 40 something. It was Juan Luna's parties, like, you know. I grew up going to his parties, like freaking hundreds of people in a tiny backyard around the pool. Cops come, fucking literally the 3-4 houses next to him, their fences were tore down because like
everybody's jumping
them, and it's like. I grew up going to those parties, like around here, like ghetto ass parties.
So over there, you were already seasoned. You were already
there. I was like, man, y'all call this a party? Like, man, I'd rather. There's a party in the city right now. Like, that's what I call a party. You know, it's just like. So that's cool. Yeah, I was good with it. Like, yeah, and it's just like I'm not saying those people don't know how to party, but it's like those people like are the people that actually cared about like school and high school, and I wasn't. You know. So, like, they're barely getting their taste, and they're barely, like, learning how to party, you know, and I was already, like, trying to retire from it, you know?
Yeah, you were pretty much a fucking champ at that point.
Yeah, like, you know, so I was like, man, like.
This ain't shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, shoes, construction, what are you going to do when you graduate?
What's the plan? That's a good question, yeah.
Yeah. So, I've been offered a few internships, not internships, but, like full offers after I graduate. But I've turned 2 down as of now, just because like they didn't really like feel right.
The average annual pay when you start?
It's like 60.
60?
Yeah, unless you go like oil field or industrial, it's probably like
60
100.
Isn't bad, but that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's fucking crazy. That's what I used to make in sales.
Yeah.
But the thing,
Sales is like constant hustle.
Yeah, and I mean with that shit is like, let's say they started at 60, but then you get really good at your
right,
shit.
And that's the basics.
You know what I'm saying?
It's good. 60 is good.
By like fucking 10, let's say you do that shit for 10 years, you can probably have your own shit going, and maybe less than 10.
Yeah.
Within 5 years, you can get like up to 100 if you're like.
And then just that field right there, I don't know. Like I feel like if you know how to do estimates, you know how fast the construction site moves, how like you can the amount of money is kind of like on you. You know what I'm saying? Because you can come out here. Like my dad, for example, he didn't fucking go to school, and like he's killing shit out here. Just fucking doesn't even speak English. You know, so. That's the cool shit about what you did. Like you chose something that's like general. You know?
I could do my own
shit now if like I wanted to, you know. But it's like, yeah. The thing is like I've been so used to not having a boss that it's like
once you get to that, that's gonna be a drastic shit. Like to me,
yeah.
Once you graduate and you're like all right, this is the deal. Like if I want to do this shit, that's gonna be fucking weird as fuck.
I'm gonna go in entry level.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go in at the bottom of the totem pole. And I'm gonna
so you gotta work your way up.
People gonna be like, "Oh, you a dumbass little college student. You don't know nothing about construction.
You are a little toy, bitch."
Yeah, basically. It's just like, bro, literally,
you gotta start somewhere, brother.
Bro, my last internship, the first day I got there, it was a job site in Cushing in the oil field. I get there, and one of the project managers, he takes me out to the field, and one of the guys like, "Oh, who's that? Is that a new guy?" And he was like, "Nah, it's my new bitch." I was like, "Oh, fuck you!" Like, you know, I was like, "Man, you a bitch!" Like, that's how we gonna start off, you know?
Yeah. So
but like, it's like literally like that's what you are when you go in.
You got to prepare yourself for that moment of like, fuck, like I gotta be on that shit. So
you will go to a company, or
at this point, like I'm trying to do everything I can, like to find a way to work for myself and like make more than what I'm making right now. Cause like right now I make, you know, I can pay for myself, pay for what I need and stuff, pay my bills and all that. But it's like, if I start getting into like a house payment or a car payment, it's like, oh, like, you know, it's not consistent enough for that. So it's like, I need to make some more, I need to find a better, more stable income.
Right.
But I want to do it.
But at least you're smart about
terms.
It, though. Like, you know, like, all right, I don't need to get, like, just because I'm making money on the spot and I'm on my own boss, I'm not going crazy and like, getting these fucking car payments and house payments. You're smart about it. You just keep it, like, low fucking payments as you can. That way you can bounce off of different shit.
You think another, like, the energy that you're putting into college, once you're not in college, you're going to have all that time to like, plot how to make more, you know, because now you got test and shit, and so that's you'll have more time to plot on the business, man.
So one more thing, I think we can just wrap it up. So if you had to go into the past like 5 years from like you right now, go back to say something 5 years, how the fuck you say it?
What would you
so what would you tell yourself 5 years in the past? Like, you would go and had to say something to you.
Man, I would probably slap myself in the face and tell myself to like stop being lazy. Cause I mean, back then I was like in high school, I was just a shitty student. Like, I would just go to class if I wanted to go to class. Like, half of the time I wasn't even there, you know. So I was going to Metro Tech in the morning and then high school in the afternoon. But sometimes I wouldn't go to high school because they wouldn't count my tardies and stuff.
Yeah.
So like, I would just be doing dumb shit. Like, I'd just go play pool with the homies or just go eat or go to the mall. And like, now that I think about it, like, that's the time like I could have been applying for way more scholarships and could have been getting like $20,000 scholarships, $30,000. You know, there's like Bill Melinda Gates scholarship that's like $20,000. You know, and it's like that's more than what I've like gotten out of my scholarships, and I could have gotten one like that could have covered it all. You know, there's some that are like $50,000. You know, and it's like I didn't know a lot of that stuff. Probably, well, just because I'm first generation, but like my sisters didn't tell me, you know, my parents, obviously, they didn't tell me. And the teachers, like, they only told like the students they thought were smart.
And you were just doing the bare minimum to get by, so you can't even blame.
Like, I would just kind of try to tell myself like to stay focused, like grind harder, you know, or like teach myself some financial literacy because I'm still kind of shitty with money. So
I think that's the thing with like people that come from the hood. They're just like you get the money, you
get the money, you don't know how to.
Yeah, you don't know that.
You know.
Yeah. So definitely one of the things you would tell yourself is like fucking stop being lazy, get on your shit, get more knowledge. Okay. All right. What about you, Chino? 5 years.
Save all the money. Imagine what kind of house, car I could have bought. Not buying my friends drinks, not paying for everybody's food, etc. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All the designer.
Especially all
yes.
$90,000 shoe collection.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a statement piece. Like someone see you like, that guy has stupid money.
Right.
It's nice because when you come from nothing, you know, you still got that mentality.
Yeah. The thing is to be able to get to that level, like you said, you have to be able to save. Like you have to go through the point of like. You have to go to the point of not doing all that shit to be able to do it. You know, you have to be able to
eat crazy.
Fucking noodles, tuna, whatever the fuck to be later be able to flex. And
now that I think about it, this is just a crazy random thought, but like I was in Dallas with my homie the other day, and we were at the Statler. It's a fancy ass hotel. So we go in the pool, and then my homie's so into the designer things and like the expensive shit. So these people are walking. They have money. You know, it's one of the fanciest hotels over there. And this nigga's like a little kid. He's like, oh shit, bro, I wanted that belt. Like, that fucking Louis. Like, he was like a little kid. Like, bro, like, oh, damn, that nigga got money. And it's like, I was like, so pretty much people wear that shit to let you know, like, I got money, motherfucker.
Hell yeah.
It's like not just like so Rolex is like, how much is a Rolex? The cheapest Rolex?
They're probably like $2,000, maybe $3,000, like a used one or something.
Like a used one, yeah.
A new one. You're talking about
$10,000.
Yeah. Okay, so
just to tell you the time, you know, my little Casio can say that shit.
That's how I've made my business, you know.
So.
Yeah. From people like that, you know, I've made my money because people want to be like, damn, like I got these Yeezys and you don't.
That's crazy.
I got this Supreme and you don't.
He was like, I wasn't paying attention to that shit, but that nigga was like a little kid. He was like,
oh yeah.
Oh shit, like this guy got that belt, bro. Like I want that belt. It costs this and that. Look at that nigga with that, bro. That Louis. Yeah, bro. I was like, come on, dog. Like I'm not worried about other niggas and what they wear and like, nah, fuck. But it is a statement. It is. Yeah,
it's crazy. Like being out at the mall. I'm gonna be worried
about another man's what they wearing. Like, Dave Dash.
It's crazy being out there, you know, and people just looking at your feet. Like, I've been out and I've seen like groups of like people just like, you know, like look at his shoes, you know, and it's like, you know, you see them and it's just like, all right, you know, it should feel nice, like, you know, can't deny it.
When I see a good haircut, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, whose barber is that?
Right.
Like who's?
So let's just say, since I go to a lot of meetings, you know, I got a lot of nice loafers, like Louis, Gucci, Louis Vuittons. You know what I mean? Let's say when you first meet someone, they're like, this guy this guy clearly knows what he's doing because he is well dressed. You know what I mean? And that's like a good 3,000 on his feet. You know what I mean? Like.
Okay, so what would you say if you meet Bill Gates?
It's almost part of your. It's part of.
I mean, that's different because everybody already know him, and he's not.
Well, no, I'm just saying like. Yeah, and that's like these.
You're saying like to the general population when you pull up in a Lincoln or whatever, that shit makes them kind of.
Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos doesn't wear anything too fancy. No. Gary Vee.
Let's just say it's a meeting about bids and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Are you gonna go with the guy with well-dressed guy? You know what I mean? That knew what he was doing, or are you gonna go with the guy that was?
I think it's
looking
more
homeless. You know
I think I have to listen to both and then and kind of see.
See, like my dad, it is kind of true though, bro, because like my dad's been in situations before where he, like let's say he pulls up with his nice truck, you know what I'm saying, and then he does the estimate or whatever, and then some other dude pulls up with like a fucking beat up, just tools everywhere, sloppy, you know what I'm saying? And
but you can be, because like you're saying, there's tools everywhere. It's a little sloppy, but he can come in with his little raggedy truck and have it clean and nice, and you know, like
But I think it just really depends. If you're in a nice neighborhood, you know what I mean, you're not gonna want your neighbors to say, I see you have that crackhead working on your, you know, your kitchen.
At that point, it's like, fuck what you're saying. I don't give a fuck. He did a great job.
Well, but that's you though. You're a real nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a lot like for the general
this is
population, like if they, you know what I'm saying? Like they don't want to see a fucking Mexican outside smoking a blunt, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even if he did a great job, like
drinking
in the kitchen,
a beer, working on your kitchen, like you don't want things, you know, like they would think that's very unprofessional.
Right, but that's totally different. That comes again to the sloppy guy with the truck. But there's somebody that can be regular clothes and.
Well, like for example, my dad, he's humble. He doesn't pull up in no fucking, you know, there's nothing. It's a Ford, and he has his shirt tucked in, and he has a nice.
Like if your dad pulls up on like his F-150, which is nice, and then somebody pulls up in a professional van, like at that point it's like your dad knows what he's doing.
People's financial decisions.
But I'm gonna get that guy because he has a fancy ass van.
The general population might. That's why like cabinet outlet and
more
shit like that is like I said, bro. Like you're a real nigga, so you know how to look past that. You know what I'm saying? But for the regular, you know what I'm saying? That shit is true. Like first impression. It is.
You want something
like with me, for example, I dress bummy. I don't really, you know what I'm saying, give a fuck, and that might limit me from certain people may look at me and be like, damn, this nigga's a fucking smells like weed, and you know what I'm saying, like looking sloppy. But then they see my videos and they're like, oh shit, who shot that video? And they treated me like a bum, and now you need my help. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
So, but I mean,
it's a personal thing, man. It's just like
I think
want to spend your money on.
Yeah.
Some people who have millions of dollars won't even like spend $100 on some shoes, and then there's people that got like $10,000 will buy like $3,000 shoes.
I think what Chino says, it just depends. Like if you know you're in a meeting where you have to dress nice as fuck and sauce it up to get there, catch their attention and close deals and shit. You got to do it,
Yeah, goals. Whenever we fucking went from front desk to sales, you would have to basically when you were front desk, you could wear sweats, shorts, and whatever. The salespeople, we had to wear slacks. Yeah. We had to fucking tuck our shirt in. You know what I'm saying? Like it was. Yeah. So. But it wasn't. So when somebody came in, you looked. You know.
Right. And that's
sharp and good. Like.
And that's perfect because it kind of gives you that like professional sense, and I think it doesn't necessarily have to be with brands and designer and shit. It just dress right, just dress clean. That's how I like to do it when I can.
Brands more for like I said, the statement pieces. You know what I mean? Like, that's look at that guy. He's the boss. You know what I mean? That's the boss. You know what I mean? Compared to. That's why a lot of people want designer things. You know what I mean? Because that symbolizes they have a lot of money. Yeah. You know what I mean? Statement pieces.
Yeah.
Statement pieces.
Fucking interesting.
You gotta read like your audience too. Like, if you're gonna meet with somebody like you've met before, if that's gonna like be a difference or not. Like, some people do like the clean cut people. Some people don't care. It's like if someone likes clean cut, you're gonna kind of cater to them and see what they like and kind of just adjust yourself to impress them or whatever.
Hell the fuck yeah. I mean. I think that's it, man. Shit. This was a good ass podcast, man.
Yeah.
Fucking appreciate you, brother. Bro. You came out.
Thanks for having me.
Gave us the
wealth of your we'll have you back, man.
Yeah, young fucking
like a couple months from now.
Hustler.
It's cool. It's just fun.
And then once you graduate, bro, months from there, like we'll fucking have you in and kind of see how that went and like how shit's going. But before we close this middle one right here, shout out to AV behind the camera. Shout out to Andy, aka Chino. You know what I'm saying? Out here assisting us and shit. I think he's the first one to assist the full podcast because a lot of people crack on us.
Snap.
Hell the fuck yeah. So we're going to wrap this shit up. You already know what it is. We out.
Sure.